So being in the business where you're not really, you know, able to express this emotion because you're in a competitive environment and you don't want the competition to see that, you know, you're struggling. So I guess internally I was oppressed, and I was trying to find a way to seek refuge in something greater than me, something greater than the business that I was in. And I actually did a record that was successful. I did a record with a Lebanese artist by the name of Masadi. He hails out of Canada. And to my surprise, because, you know, even as a successful artist, I never expected, you know, any music that I did would propel into a market such as the Islamic market or the Muslim world. Because we kind of, as entertainers in the West or in America, we kind of look at our success ranging in places like the United Kingdom, North America, South America, Europe, things of these natures. So for this record to be successful in the Muslim world, and me being able to be invited to perform this song in the Muslim world, happened to be the greatest experience and greatest transitional phase in my whole life. I visited countries like Muscat, Oman, Abu Dhabi, and Dubai. And through the course of my travels and through the course of performing, and, you know, once the shows were over, I started to pay more attention to the surroundings. I started to pay more attention to the environment that I was in and the culture that came with the environment. And as you know, in the Western world, we have a very one-dimensional perception of Islam, and we have a very one-dimensional perception of the Muslim. So on this journey, I was able to see firsthand the extreme difference, not only in Islam, but in the Muslim. Hands-on, my own experience, with my own two eyes, I seen something that was so, like, different from what American media, you know, expresses in terms of the Islam and the Muslim, and I was drawn. I gravitated to this understanding. I would hear certain things like the adhan, which is the call to prayer. I heard the call to prayer being recited, and, you know, actually seeing the Muslim make salat, meaning the prayer, and all these things, you know, combined, played an enormous, you know what I'm saying, gave an enormous impact to my heart. And for the first time in my life, I saw a people who were humble. I seen a people who practice peace. I seen a people who collectively, you know, 24 hours a day, constantly engaging in acts of worship to the one true creator. And this was something that I needed, you know, because in my state of ignorance, I found myself trying to, you know, search other avenues to find this peace that I seen displayed on my journey. And I tried to do things like, you know, buy luxurious gifts or travel to beaches and do all kinds of things, and satisfaction was always temporary. So while I was in Abu Dhabi and looking at the sunset, overlooking the Arabian Sea, you know, something hit me. And that vision and those collective impressions left me in only one conclusion, that I wanted to be a Muslim. And this is where I was introduced to Islam with no verbal dawah, basically an impression that was left based on the mannerisms of the Muslim, the culture of the Muslim, and the collective acts of worship of the Muslim. All these things lended a hand to introducing me to a brand new way of life and a newfound peace that I wouldn't trade in for nothing in the world, inshallah. Make this transition so easy, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is most kind to make this transition so easy, because, you know, some Muslims, as you can probably, you know, tell that, you know, making a transition from another faith into Islam, there are a lot of, you know, trials and, you know, tribulations that one might face, you know, from your peers or your family. But in the case of my peers, you know, similar situation, they know me to not ever be like a follower or a tag along. So to see someone with leadership quality follow something as great as Islam, I think a lot of my peers are, one, probably curious about why would I give up such a luxurious lifestyle to be a Muslim. And you know, like you said, maybe behind my back, some of them joke, but for the most part, the ones that confront me are sincere. And they ask me questions, and to be honest with you, some of them have even accepted Islam. Right. Based on, you know, having this curiosity, knowing me and seeing this transition and seeing how happy I am. See that I smile more. Right. You know, and this is a well-deserved smile. This is not the smile for the camera where you just, no, this is real, you know. So people who know me can identify with these things have definitely showed me, you know, much support, much love, and alhamdulillah, you know, may Allah guide them all into the fold of Islam, because Islam is a beautiful religion of peace. Well, honestly, you know, the music that I did is a lifestyle that comes with the music. And of course, you know, when I was into music, I had a very, very devoted love for music and everything that it contributed to my career and my life at the time. But now that I've found the same beauty in worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I don't need the music anymore to find that joy that I used to find when I used to do music. Like for instance, you know, like you said, you have people that do have positive words in their music, such as certain artists who do nasheed. Yes, nasheed. But what I've found in such a short period of time of being a Muslim is that, you know, you meet people who are so devoted to the Quran, and when they read the Quran, you can actually see the tears dropping on the pages of the Quran. But what I found now that most of, you know, the young Muslims nowadays that listen to nasheed, the nasheed music actually extracts the same emotion, where they're listening to songs that are talking about Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, talking about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But the downside of it is, once you start to accumulate the emotion from listening to nasheed, when these people return back to the Quran, they lose the emotion that comes with reading the speech of Allah.